let me introduce you to NF syndrome. In this piece, I'll be having a conversation with Paul Fox and what life is like dealing with neurofibromatosis.
I was born in 1967. I first lived in Middlemount Joy Street, which is in the city centre, but I actually grew up in Sony Batter.
You were born with this condition, correct?
I was born with a condition. It's hereditary, genetic hereditary, which means that one of my parents had the condition.
Okay.
My father had the condition, and he passed the gene on to myself and one of my two sisters.
And so, growing up in your early years?
The early years weren't too bad. It's when you come to 10 to 13, when the lumps and bumps start growing on the skin, then it gets hard.
Right.
Because when you go to the gym in school, the exercise activities in school, and you have to change all the lumps and bumps, the other children see them and they start making fun of you and things like that, and then it's into bullying. Pushed through, got through. The year after my inter-cert, I left school. I didn't do my leaving cert.
Okay. And so what did you do after school?
When I left school, I went into what was then known as ANCO. ANCO changed name a couple of times. I went to FOSS and then something else. But from ANCO I was sent on a 2-week job experience course to a factory, and in almost 41 years now in that factory.
And does your condition affect you in any way at the workplace?
Lately, yes. With the condition you can have depression, anxiety, stress.
And so how do you take care of yourself?
I'm on a lot of medication, and also I like doing puzzles. Sudoku puzzles.
Okay.
Hi, Kathy. So I wanted to ask you, how has it been knowing Paul over the years?
Well, I took a break from association when I reached my teenage years because I found it quite difficult. I was very overwhelmed. By the time I came back, he was always so open, so engaging, so encouraging, and he did a talk last year at our AGM about what it's like going through school and the bullying and the ridicule that comes along with it. And he's always just been so inspiring and so friendly and just a really, really down-to-earth person, and he's been a constant. He's always there, you can rely on him, and he's just a pleasure to know.
I played a lot of sports in my life. I played table tennis from when I was 7 up to I was early 20s. I played basketball, badminton, 10-pin bowling. Played a lot of sports, and I did a lot of running. When I was mid-teens, I was doing 10 kilometers in under 40 minutes.
So this condition didn't stop you from doing what you wanted to do?
At first, yes, it did, but then I decided to take control, not let the condition control me, but let me control my own life.
Not today, unfortunately.
My name is Fergal Griffin. I'm the General Manager of NFIreland. I know Paul about 20 years. Paul would have been a former Director and Chairperson of NFIreland. Paul has been a really good friend to me and my family over the years. We've always found him to be a fantastic support person to talk to. In fact, any new members or families that get diagnosed with a condition, Paul would be one of the first people we ask people to go to and talk to. He's a very comforting person to talk to. He puts people at ease straight away. There's probably very few people in the organisation who know more about neurofibromatosis than Paul. So as you know yourself, he puts everyone at ease. He's got great life experience. He's always so positive. He shows what it's like to have NF and be a positive person and to keep active. And we'd like to thank Paul so much for everything he has done for the organisation down through the years. He's a massive asset. So thank you very much, Paul.
You are one person with this condition, so I have to ask, how many other people in Ireland
Well,
are affected by this?
The condition I have is called NF1. Now there's NF1 and NF2. Now NF1 is the more common of the two. 1 in 3,000 babies born in Ireland has NF1. and 1 in 40,000 babies born has NF2. The biggest difference between the two are with NF2 you can have what are called bilateral vestibular schwannomas. These actually grow inside the ear and you can actually go deaf. Now, the condition does not skip a generation, which means if the child of someone with the condition does not have the condition, then their children more than likely will not have the condition.
So, about your tumors, where do they grow?
The tumors can grow anywhere on the body or inside the body. I myself have 4 brain tumors. I have tumors on my stomach, on my bowel, and I have a tumor that's bigger than a golf ball on my pancreas.
And so has that affected your day-to-day in any way?
Yes, it has. Because since they found the one in the pancreas, they put me on certain medication, and the medication gives me problems. So they put me on more medication to combat the problems, and then I have to take another medication to combat that drug that combats that.
So it's complicated.
Yeah.
Jesus.
It's very complicated, and a lot of medication. Any parent whose child has been diagnosed with NF and they're very young is not to worry, that there's a community out there with the condition, and that everything, and not to go onto the internet, because you only see the worst case scenarios on the internet. That if you want information, come to the association, and they will give you any information you want, and it's up to date, specific information that they have.